Photographer Dave Martinez will never forget that day. Through his viewfinder, he could see all 22 graduates lined up perfectly. When he pressed the shutter, the gymnasium was empty. Police didn't believe him. The school administration silenced him. Parents claimed their children had gone to party after graduation. For 30 years, Dave searched for the truth alone. Subscribe to the Ember Files, because some stories refuse to stay buried. Westfield High School's gymnasium was still flooded with afternoon sunlight on Saturday, June 18, 1994, at exactly 3:47 p.m. Dave Martinez adjusted his camera lens as 22 graduating seniors took their traditional formation. Front row kneeling, 5 girls. Middle row standing, 12 students. Back row, 5 boys. "All right, everyone, smile one last time," Dave called out. Through the viewfinder, he could see them all. Jennifer Morrison's red dress, Michael Chen's crooked tie, Sarah Williams clutching her flower bouquet. They were all there. He pressed the shutter. The flash fired. When Dave lifted his head from the camera, the gymnasium was completely empty. Not just empty, absolutely vacant. No one was there. Only bare wooden floors and graduation banners hanging on the walls. Time seemed to stop. His heart pounded in his ears. He rubbed his eyes, looked again. No one. Just silence. "Kids," he called out. His voice echoed. Dave ran through the gymnasium, checking restrooms, hallways, all the side exits. Everything was locked. The only entrance was the main door he had entered through, and no one had left. He panicked, called school security, then police, then families. Officer Richards arrived first from Westfield PD. He listened to Dave's story, took notes, frowned. "So the children lined up for the photo and suddenly vanished?" "Exactly like that. I was looking through the viewfinder, could see them all. Pressed the shutter, lifted my head, no one was there." Richards examined the gymnasium. No signs of disturbance. Tables in place. The only strange thing was footprints on the floor. 22 pairs of shoe prints in perfect formation. "Where did these prints come from?" Richards asked. "From where the kids were standing. Exactly where they were positioned. Families began arriving. Mrs. Morrison looking for Jennifer. Mr. Chen asking about Michael. Each family asking the same question, getting the same answer. Your child isn't here." But then something strange happened. Mrs. Morrison said, "Jennifer went to party with friends after graduation. She'll be home late." Mr. Chen said, "I dropped Michael off this morning. He was going home on his own." Every family claimed their children had different plans after the ceremony. None supported Dave's story. None admitted their children had stayed for photos. "This is impossible," Dave thought. "I spoke with them. I arranged the pose myself." Richards questioned Dave. "Mr. Martinez, have you been drinking today? Any medication?" "No, absolutely not." "Is there anyone else who saw these children stay for photos?" Dave thought. The gymnasium was empty. The janitor had gone home. Teachers left after the ceremony. He was the only witness. "No, but check the camera. Look at the photo I took." Richards examined the camera. The film hadn't been developed yet. "Develop the film," Dave said. "You'll see the truth." The next day, Dave waited for the film results. The photo lab called. "Dave, your photos are ready, but there's a strange situation." Dave rushed to the lab. Technician Tom Peters met him, scratching his head. "Dave, look at this last photo." Dave stared at the photograph and froze. The image showed only an empty gymnasium. No one was there, as if no one had ever stood there. "This isn't possible," Dave whispered. "I saw them." Tom shrugged. "Film doesn't lie, Dave." That evening, local news ran a positive story about Westfield High's graduation. Successful ceremony, happy families, students ready for the future. No missing person reports, no search efforts, 22 children treated as if they'd never existed. Dave returned to the school the next day. He spoke with Principal Hayes. "I want to see these children on the graduation list," Dave said. Hayes frowned. "Which children?" Dave listed the names: Jennifer Morrison, Michael Chen, Sarah Williams. "Mr. Martinez," Hayes said quietly, "these names aren't at our school." "What do you mean they're not? I've known them for 3 years. I took their yearbook photos. Hayes pulled out the yearbook. Dave searched the pages for the names. He couldn't find any of them. This is impossible, Dave repeated. That night at home, Dave searched his own archives, previous year's school photos, sports teams, club pictures. He looked for those 22 students. He couldn't find any of them, as if they'd never existed. Dave couldn't sleep. By morning, he'd made a decision. He would find the truth, whether they believed him or not. In the following weeks, Dave conducted independent research. He spoke with other photographers in Westfield, interviewed school staff, contacted former graduates. No one remembered those 22 names. Maybe you're imagining things, his wife Linda said. Maybe you're too stressed. But Dave knew what he'd seen. He'd watched them, spoken to them, directed them. Months passed. Dave's obsession grew. He lost focus at work, withdrew from social life. His only thought was those missing 30 minutes. A year later, Dave encountered the school's former janitor. The old man, Eugene Wells, had worked at the school for 40 years. That day was a few months before his retirement. "Eugene," Dave said, "do you remember June 18th, 1994? Graduation day?" Eugene paused, his eyes clouded. "Yes, I remember." "Did anything strange happen in the gymnasium that day?" Eugene was quiet for a long time. Then softly, "Are you that photographer?" Dave's heart jumped. "Yes, that's me. They were looking for you, that night, after the school closed." "Who was looking for me?" "I don't know. Men in suits, very official. They cleaned the gymnasium, repainted it, sterilized everything." Dave began trembling. "What else do you remember?" Eugene looked around, then whispered, "That night I stayed in the janitor's room. At 3 a.m. I heard sounds from the gymnasium, strange sounds, like electrical crackling. When I went to check, the door was locked." "What happened then?" "Next morning everything was normal, but they'd taken all the documents from my janitor's room. Daily logs, maintenance records, everything." Dave was now certain. There was a cover-up. Years passed. Dave aged, retired, but his obsession never diminished. In the internet age, research became easier. Missing persons databases, alumni networks, social media. He still found no trace. In 2019, Dave visited Westfield High for the 25th anniversary. The school had been renovated. The gymnasium was modernized, new floors installed, modern panels on the walls. Dave examined where the old gymnasium used to be. It was now a media center. He spoke with the construction foreman. "Did you find anything strange during this renovation?" the man thought. "Actually, yes. Under the old gymnasium floor there was an odd cavity." Dave's breath stopped. "What kind of cavity?" "Rectangular chamber, about 30 by 40 feet, completely sealed. Had old electronics inside." "What kind of electronics?" "Don't know exactly. Very old, looked like 90s stuff. We threw it all away." "Where did you take those electronics?" "Went to the dumpster, probably in a landfill now." Dave's world shook. That night, he told his wife. Linda was tired of hearing Dave's story, but this time there was a different expression on her face. "Dave," she said quietly, "maybe you should stop." "I can't stop. Now there's proof." "What proof?" "Something vague a construction worker said." Dave remained silent. Linda was right. He still had no concrete evidence. But in 2024, everything changed. Westfield High School was being completely demolished. A new school building would be constructed. Dave came to watch the demolition. When bulldozers excavated the old foundation, workers found something. The demolition supervisor called Dave. "Are you the old photographer? We found something." Dave approached the construction site with his heart pounding. Under the old foundation was a concrete chamber. It had been sealed for 30 years. Inside were old camera equipment, recording devices, and a metal box. When Dave opened the metal box, inside were 22 student ID cards. Jennifer Morrison, Michael Chen, Sarah Williams. They were all there, and there was a note. They saw too much. Project terminated. Subjects relocated. Memory adjustment successful. Classification level 7. Dave read the note with shaking hands. Below was a date, June 18, 1994, 4:30 p.m., exactly 43 minutes after the photo shoot. Dave now knew the truth. Something had happened that day, something impossible, unexplainable, and someone had erased all traces. But now there was evidence. Dave pocketed the note and went home. After 30 years, he finally felt vindicated. That night, Dave began writing his story. All the details, all the dates, all the names, this time with evidence. And he told the world that 22 young people hadn't just disappeared. They had been erased. Because sometimes vanishing is worse than disappearing. Sometimes you're treated as if you never existed at all. This is Dave Martinez's story. And now, finally, the truth has emerged. Next week, what did the other documents in that metal box contain? And you'll learn what the project really was. Subscribe to the Ember Files.